Call meeting in order. We stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilwoman Schott, will you please lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we come to you with humble hearts, and we ask that you give us wisdom as we make decisions that affect our community. We ask you to bless and protect our employees, police officers, and first responders. Father, we thank the members of the military, both past and present, and ask that you keep them safe. And we pray that we will always be aware of your presence in everything that we do. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
I make a motion to go into executive session for employment.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
I make a motion to come back to the executive session. No action taken.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, you want them to report?
Yes. Mm. Go. Yes, please.
All right, well, council decided Brittany Richards to be on council. I'd like to nominate her. We'll take a vote. If somebody wants to make a motion.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Okay, Brittany, you want to come up here? I'll swear you in. Trevor, I want to make sure that you know that it was a tough decision on both sides, so we were happy with both of you, seriously. All right.
Pardon. And still
I
state.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I do solemnly swear I will protect the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio.
I further affirm that I am not now,
I further affirm that I am not now,
nor have I been in the past,
nor have I been in the past,
a member of any organization,
a member of any organization,
association, movement, group, or combination of persons
association, group, movement, or combination of persons
who advocates the overthrow of our constitutional form of government.
who advocates for the overthrow of a constitutional government.
I will faithfully, honestly,
I will faithfully, honestly,
and impartially discharge the duties of the office
and impartially discharge the duties of the office
of councilwoman
of councilwoman
of the municipality of Butte City,
of the municipality of Butte City,
State of Ohio, during my continuance in said office.
State of Ohio, in my continuance of
Said office.
in said office.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well. Your new council person, welcome.
Thank you.
And here's your seat.
Okay.
You get the seat that we took Gene from, and moved him over.
That's because everybody was kicking my arm over. Congratulations.
I'd like to make a motion that we excuse Mr. Paddock this evening.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Schott,
Yes.
and Richards. Mr. Babbitt is our solicitor, and he is not here this evening.
You can abstain on that one right now.
Okay.
Abstain.
Okay, minutes.
Motion for the minute.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Abstain.
Richards,
Abstain.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Okay, bills.
Motion.
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Richards,
Abstain.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Okay. Hourly workers time report.
There was one.
Two of my last I looked.
All right. Fireman's time.
Motion.
Did you find them?
Yeah, I was sure. Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Richards,
Abstain.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Clerk Trey.
The village received a thank you from the Long and Necker Mennonite Church. We had made a donation in remembrance of Lonnie Cheney's father-in-law, Sam Coons. Chief Guy presented me with the Lexipol invoice. It is due for payment in the amount of $1,734. It covers his law enforcement manual he uses and any upgrades or changes for the next year. So I'd like that.
Motion.
I'm sorry, you seconded that?
Second.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair,
Yes.
Richards,
Abstain.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
You could have voted
Okay.
on it.
You don't, any new business come up now, you can, that you are now part of, you can vote on as you see.
One thing we should do, I think right now, is vote for council president.
Is she done over here?
I'm sorry, have you done Debbie or you still?
No.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Gordon.
I'm sorry.
Brittany, in your packet, and when I say packet, the papers I put in front of you for the meeting, there's a document called OML, and it stands for the Ohio Municipal League. We are a member of this group out of Columbus, and they help guide the villages, municipalities with information. They are having an upcoming conference, and I don't know if you're available on Saturdays. This is the first time I've noticed this for new council members.
Okay.
And if you are interested in going, it would be to your benefit to learn different things, they'll go over things that council does. We would pay the cost for it, and for you to drive down that day, the village would reimburse you the cost of your fuel.
Or Independence.
Independence is the closest one.
Is it Independence closest?
Yes, yes.
See, I would have been
It's about 45 minutes.
Independence is a lot closer.
Is it?
It's about 45.
So, I mean, if you look at your schedule, and if you're interested, let us know. I am working to finish the appropriations. I got those done this afternoon before I left for home. There's a resolution to read. The Hinkle year-end report with the state of Ohio, me taking my year-end and sending it in their format, has not been done yet. I don't have that. But I have talked to the auditors. We're waiting for the Hinkle report to be done, entered on their side, and then they're gonna schedule the upcoming audit, which will be for 18 and 19. 18 and 19.
That's a big
Is
one.
that the small order or the big
We're
one?
still looking for a small, but they're going to check with the state on that. I've asked for another small one. The legislation, yeah, what's on there? I have two pieces of legislation. I have ordinance number 20-01. An ordinance approving, adopting, and enacting the American Legal Publishing's Ohio Basic Code 2020 edition as the code of ordinances for the municipality of Beach City, Ohio. And this says, and declaring an emergency. It's up to you whether you want to pass it now or
Make a motion to suspend.
Second.
We're suspending the rules so that we can vote on it tonight instead of coming for 3 readings, which is 3 meetings.
Normally, the girl decides just don't vote on nothing. I'll just tell her that.
That's
That's the
fine.
truth.
That's okay.
I've told you my reasons.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
good.
enjoy that.
And you
Okay.
have to have 5
This-
people here to suspend the rules.
Yeah.
I have a motion by McKinney, a second by Bailey, to suspend the rules of ordinance 20-01. Bennett?
Yes.
Thayer?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott.
No.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Bennett?
Yes.
Thayer?
Yes.
Richards?
Yes.
McKinney?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
And Schott.
Yes.
In something you will learn in time, when we pass legislation and we pass it with 3 readings, 3 meetings, it takes 30 days to go into effect. If we do where it says, in declaring an emergency, we suspend the rules, we pass it, and it's immediate. That's why they did that, so we can send this to the state, and we can use the Ohio Revised Code. State did this to us. I have the first reading. Do not pass this, take time to look at it. It's Resolution 20-01, a resolution making the permanent appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Beach City, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. Be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Beach City, Ohio, that the clerk treasurer has authority to make line item transfers within the same fund when needed. Will be your first reading. And on this one, Brittany, this form tells you how I'm going to put the money on the books, which you can come in someday and I'll go over with you, it's easy. And how, what departments, how each department's set up and what each department's allowed to spend. Because each department is run independently, we don't share money. Okay.
She has a code word on the left-hand side where each one is in their book. That's EO2, is it?
Well, don't confuse her on that.
Oh, okay.
I'll show her that. I'll show on her report, she'll get it. Okay, John, your turn.
Okay, let's vote for the, we'll vote for the president. We need some nominations for the president.
Rod, do you still want the job? Oh, but I asked.
It doesn't matter, it matters to me what you, the rest of the council, if you want me to do it, I will do it. If you don't, then that's fine. I will go with what the council decides.
So you're nominating Rod, right?
Yes.
Any other nominations?
I'll nominate.
George. Okay. Anything else?
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, go ahead and vote.
I'll tally him up.
Any more water?
George, can you get it right? Oh, I've got one with
President of council will be Georgie Shot.
Hey, Georgie.
Was he driving home?
John, you can take him home, couldn't you? Yeah, my son can.
Well, he's got his car.
Oh,
Oh,
He's got his car. He asked if I could get a ride.
oh, okay, gotcha.
So, yeah,
All right,
I got her back.
okay, that sounds.
I've got one. He could get a ride.
All right. We have Mr. Nathan Quicksall here from Quicksall Associates.
Yes, sir. Thank you all for allowing me to be here. I briefly got to meet Greg, the village administrator, tell him a little bit of what we do. My name is Nathan Quicksall, he's the mayor, and we are a civil engineering firm here just down the road in New Philadelphia. We provide water, sanitary, and roadway design engineering. We provide all those services, plus we do funding administration. So what we try to do is use our funding arm to find you money, grant monies, so that you can perform the jobs within reasonable cost for you. We also provide construction administration services for guiding you along during the construction process, to be your agent, working with the contractor to make sure that they build the jobs according to the plans and specs. What I've got here is just a general services agreement. And what it is, we like to give it to communities that you can use it for anything as needed, if needed, at any time. It's basically at a break-even multiplier for us. So it's basically our labor time plus whatever it is in terms of break-even cost. Once, say you have a job, you want us to look at a couple of different options, put costs together, look at funding packages, and then we start getting more narrowed into the actual job and scope of the job. Then we'll probably sign another contract for design services, but this is just if needed, as needed. You got an issue, call us up, we can come by and take a look and make some recommendations and try to work with you on fixing any problems that you have.
When was the last time you worked for us? Do you remember?
Oh, sir, no,
You didn't even look, okay.
I met your father, I believe. Was that
Don.
your Don.
Yeah.
We
Right.
talked-
Yeah, I've been with the firm since 2010. I don't know that we've had any work up here since then.
You haven't had nothing, no. I think it was a long time ago that you did some work for us. I can't remember the year anymore.
My background is in roadway engineering. I've been a transportation engineer for about 15 years now. Now I'm working more in terms of the administration, but I still head up our roadway design team. We've also got a section that we call the municipal group that handles water and sewer jobs. And any pump stations, lift stations, things of that sort. We've been around for 60 years, going on 61, knocking on wood. Yeah, I just want to thank you, and I hope, this is the start of building a relationship with you guys. Appreciate the opportunity and giving us a call.
Do we still have, where we can get money for the state route? That ain't state route no more, we used to get it for Main Street here, it used to be Route 212. And we kept 2 years to save money to be able to do it. Do they still have that on the books yet?
Would that be through ODOT's program?
Do you
It's
remember?
Stark County that we get the money from.
Stark County?
It's
Okay.
not ODOT.
Okay. This is a state route here, isn't it?
It used to be.
It used to be,
Oh,
it's
it's
not,
not anymore?
they moved it over.
Yes.
When they built the new bridge, they moved it over.
Gotcha.
But we used to get money
Mhm.
for it because it was a state route.
Okay, okay. Yeah, ODOT, or actually, it sounds like Stark County is one helping. But, yeah, any times you get funds from them and you keep it in your general fund or allocate it to your street department, you can use those funds for any improvements.
Well, we waited 2 years on that to get enough to be able to do it that time.
Okay, good.
Wasn't that, you wasn't here, was you, Debbie?
That was right before we got here, wasn't it?
That was when I just came. They were doing that project. in 1998.
22 years.
So, I do have one question for you. Out of curiosity, do you have your own group, or do you recommend anybody that can do surveying?
Survey, yeah. Yeah, we've got several that we use. If you're looking for a property survey that needs to be sealed by a certified professional surveyor. then-
Cemetery.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, the new lot.
It's been surveyed, but we think we may have to do it again.
Do you use Bear Goody a lot, Billy?
We've worked with Bear Goody. We don't have we have a good relationship with them. We typically use Ward and Emler. We'll use Jesse Newburn, who's down in New Philly as well. But if there's any surveyors here in the area that you'd like to use, we can, there's not any good ones.
No, I used to
Or
use.
any registered.
I used to use Smith, I think, down out of Dover, on the back
Yes,
road to
Ron Smith.
Wakefield.
Ron Smith?
Yeah, he died, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did.
That's what I thought. That's what I used to use.
He's got a good reputation, from what I understand.
I thought I had too much ground. I found out who it all belonged to after I ended up getting it done.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah.
So he made your lot smaller? Usually that'll get
Yes,
him.
because the alley, most of our alleys are 16 foot,
Uh-huh.
somewhere around there. This alley was 22.5,
Okay.
and I wondered, why? I thought I had more ground.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, the back end of part of the town was added on, and they made the alley bigger.
Is that right? Well, back in the old days, it used to be 33 feet for right of way or 66 feet, because that was the length of the chain. Maybe 16 because they'd split it in half.
Do you have any cards? Business
I
cards?
do, actually, yes. I've got a business card, and I've got the agreement here, and by all means, we tell everyone, have your solicitor look at it, make sure everything's okay. All the language in it is appropriate for what you guys need it for.
I have your father's card, so.
Okay.
I would, thank you.
We've got a website too, wequicksell.com, in case you have some time to go on there, but yeah, here's the general engineering agreement. There's 2 copies,
Okay.
signed both of them when you get, yeah, if everything's okay.
What is it, about $10 an hour? I knew you was gonna like that. That's what we're looking for anyway.
I know, and that's so common. You know, that's why we like working with communities like you, because we understand that, okay, you guys aren't flush with money. There's a lot of communities just like you that we try to work with to try to get funds for you and get loans. And
Have you ever taken a deal with the city to be their engineer and come up with a certain price that you do per month?
No, actually, we don't.
I don't do that.
No, because actually we prefer this method, because if you need us, you can use us, but if you don't, then there's no cost to it.
That's good.
And a lot of our communities, you know, we've had ongoing agreements with communities that we haven't used in 10 years. But it's good just to be able to come and talk to you guys, and if there's any questions, the administrator can come talk to us, and we can sort of work through some things before getting too far involved.
Okay. That's good to know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions?
I have one. There's no retainer on this yearly
Correct.
fee, right?
Correct. And there is no expiration on that either, and there's no, you know, we didn't want to, you can, it's not binding by any means. It just says 7 days for, you know, if you want to end the contract, but there's really no obligation whatsoever.
You still do Brewster?
Yeah, we've got,
I keep track of it.
do you? Okay, good, I like to do that. We did their asset management plan for their community, and we're actually submitting for their fire station.
Fire station, they're
Yeah, to
building
do their
$1.5
construction.
million fire station.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we're gonna do, well, we'd like to do their construction administration. But we'll see how it goes.
So if you actually do the project on the fire station, you work that on a percentage deal on the total amount?
Actually, that is on a per hour basis, so we set a cap for what we think is gonna, the length of the project, so that one is 6 months, so we try to project how long somebody's gonna be working there on site and how much office time we
Do
have.
you do the engineering work for the city? In other words, you make sure that the contractor is doing everything
Correct,
and you're doing the engineering?
by the spec. We don't actually do
Okay.
any engineering on that. Our construction department is strictly to observe and to make sure that the contractors are complying with the plan
Okay.
specs.
Okay.
We don't, if there's any issues that arise, we go to the architect who designed it so that they can make those decisions, but we're kind of the eyes and ears for the community to make sure that.
You help the town out, in other words?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. That's all I got.
Thank you very much, Mr. Quicksilver.
Well, thanks again, I really appreciate it, and, you know, I hope to see you up here again very soon.
Yep. Okay. Well, Chief Gipe, I was going to let fire go first since they complained last time, but they're not here. So you
What'd they get for missing
are up.
me, huh?
That's right, they missed their chance.
I don't really have too much. We are switching our gas cards from what we have to, was it Marathon, Debbie?
Marathon.
It's gonna work out better. We've been having too many
Who are you
headaches.
going to?
Marathon.
We're gonna go to Marathon. Yeah.
This other company just isn't working out for us, so we're gonna move on. We need something a little better, that works better. Other than that, I would like to, there's Mitch King here. I'd like to put him on auxiliary, get him ready for the spring and summer, when I start bumping my hours back up. Right now, we're kind of slowed down a little bit with winter. But we'll get his training, put him on auxiliary to start. I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself. He has, what, 7 years law enforcement experience? Yes. So he's worked in Stark County, which is good, so he's got an idea how the system up here works, and then let him introduce himself.
Hello, my name's Mitchell King. I am 31 years old. I'm a resident of Dover, Ohio. I've been in law enforcement for 7 years. I worked with Navarre for 6, and I was at Sugar Creek Police Department prior to. Separated with Navarre last May, and looking forward to working for your village and bringing my expertise that I can to protect your citizens.
Why did you separate from Navarre?
Might not be something that's open to council.
Oh,
Yeah.
reasons, huh?
Reasons.
Just had like a conflict of interest.
Me and the chief didn't really see eye to eye on a couple things, and we came to a mutual agreement.
What makes you want to come to Beach City? I mean, you live in Dover, right?
Yes, sir.
Close.
Like I stated, I worked in Starr County, Navarre, for 6 years now. I know the area, I know the courts. It's a great little community. I've actually have assisted with calls to Beach City before as a Navarre officer. I've always been treated fairly, kindly. Your city's very hard to get around in, but a good map will teach me where your guys' roads are at. But I feel that it's a great little community to live in and work for, so.
Should have been here when
I'd be
they
honored
were
to
all,
work for you guys.
they were all numbered instead of having to make, remember that, First Street, Second Street, and then First. But, yeah, I talked to him earlier. He works, you work at Union Hospital right now, right?
Yes, I'm
That's where you're
security. I've been there
employed.
for 7 years as well.
So it's a sort of like a side job.
Well, law enforcement I would love that to be my primary, but as of right now, it's still security.
You can get a map, just like we got one sitting right here.
I have maps. It's just I need to start studying them more now.
And what we did when we changed from the numbers to the streets, there was a reason. We had 2 Second Avenues blocking each other. That people just
Yeah.
couldn't, people couldn't get it.
2 Third Avenues.
Yeah.
2 seconds, 2/3.
Well, first of all, they never knew where the square of the
It's
town
on
was.
Third Street.
And you
They
said
always
this
thought the
was
red light
for
instead of right here.
auxiliary,
To
right?
start, and
Right.
I'm on part-time, but for night it'll be auxiliary.
I make a motion, we put him on auxiliary.
Bennett,
Yes.
Fair. Oh, she's gone, who's left, I'm sorry. Richards,
Yes.
McKinney,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
and Schott.
Yes.
Thank you. Then we'll have, Mayor swear you in.
Yes, sir. Glasses, huh?
John, is it easier, I don't know how you, to give them a piece of paper and let them read the whole thing for you? Have you ever did that?
No, this is fine, I got it.
Okay.
All right. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States of America,
and the laws of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Ohio,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Ohio,
and laws and ordinances
and laws and ordinances
of the political subdivision
of the political subdivision
to which I am appointed,
to which I am appointed,
and to the best of my ability
and to the best of my ability,
will discharge the duties of this office.
will discharge the duties of this office.
There you go. Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Amen.
There you go.
Welcome.
All right.
And you'll
Good
be
luck.
auxiliary till he gets through his training, and then
You gotta
also
remember
part-time
that.
fire on spring.
I'm working tomorrow.
Just hang on how quick he gets ready. It might be next week.
If you look,
If you let.
yes.
But-
If you let.
I know.
All right, thank you guys, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, chief. Do I need to sign this somewhere?
Right here.
Village administrator.
All right.
Yeah.
I got a couple things I'll go through. The first one that's kind of important. We had, last Thursday, Joel Bender from Whitaker Myers was here, and me and him spent, the better part of about 2 hours going over our property valuations, because some of them that they had on the books were a little low. So we got those straightened out, and that brought a lot of ours up that were undervalued in case something were to happen, like what happened out on 212 and 250 with our lift station, which was only valued way lower than what it actually cost. Now they're valued up higher to where they're actually at, which is good. It's better to be
What
insured.
is the difference on something like that, Greg?
You- 3-4 times?
Oh, way bigger, yeah. Like, that was valued, I believe, at the time at 15,000, and it should be valued closer to 100,000.
Okay.
So they were, for whatever reason, some of these values were just,
We were way low.
they were off on, not everything we had. I would say maybe a fifth of what we had was devalued or valued at a different rate. That wasn't really projected, and we looked at software that Joel had and kind of figured out, we went through all of our buildings, all of our equipment, kind of everything in
How did
software.
this building, go for the total?
This one, this building?
Yeah.
500,000, roughly.
Because we had 457,000, I think, at one time.
Yeah, roughly 500, I would
Okay.
say. Not concrete on the number, but it's north of 500,000. So,
Could I ask?
yeah, go ahead.
When was the last time we had the property
I have no idea.
Why wasn't it done?
It was done before, but it wasn't done to the rate that they didn't come out and look at it or speak with somebody like a village administrator. They just saw that, oh, there's a lift station. So there can be some lift stations that are glorified sump pump. And there can be also ones that have 2 pumps in them that have a generator backup, that have a transfer switch. So they can range all in price from 3 to 5,000, all the way up to 100,000. So they didn't know that. They just saw a lift station, so we're gonna insure it for X amount, which is way lower than some of them should have been valued at. So we needed to fix that in order in the future, if that were to happen, we're actually, it's not appraised, but now, yeah. So going forward with that, we had to do that. It was something that we had to address, because we didn't wanna have something come up or something that we got damaged or destroyed. And Whitaker Myers, our insurance company, says, well, this is only worth 15,000, and we're like, no, it's worth like 90. They're like, well, see where the problem arises there? If we're underinsured on it, then we can get ourselves caught in a very big financial burden and not even know.
Was that because from the insurance company not
That-
having enough rating that?
That was because of the fact that they didn't come out and physically look at what we had. So whenever Joel came here, we went over software that he had that actually valued properties based upon square footage, construction type, insulation, plumbing, all up and down the line, electrical. versus saying, well, there's a 300 square foot building here, or there, with not even taking into account all those other things, like the police station, we valued that. Before, I think, Kurt, it was like 70,000, now it's north of 100, it's about 100,000. It's a complete replacement cost for that building, including, you're not gonna get it done for 70,000 for a 1,000 square foot building that has all that in. So there were some of them that needed to come up a little bit, some of them actually went down a little bit. Well, that was the biggest, one of the bigger things I had to do, so that's why he came here, because we didn't wanna get the village in a position where we were underinsured later on down the road if something were to arise with any of our equipment or our buildings.
How often do we have to do it? Like every couple of years, have them come in?
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea, every 3 maybe every 5. I mean, and Joel can come, he can come down tomorrow if I called him to do it
Right.
again. But so he's pretty open about that. I've spoken with him and emailed him quite a bit, so.
And may I remind you, the work you put into this, this is why we have committee meetings. If you didn't want to have committee meetings, this is a prime example of how it got lost.
Yeah,
So
that was-
how
Yeah,
does
it
that,
was overlooked.
how does that work with the damage done down the lift station?
That's what we're still working on. That's still an open claim to where I'm not gonna know until all that's done. I can say that the person that struck the vehicle, or that struck our lift station had state minimum coverage, so it'll be all in the hands of our insurance company. There's nothing we can do or I can do now, except submit invoices to our insurance company and they figure it out from there. It's not my circus, not my monkeys, but I'll take care of it from here. So I'll do everything from here on out to kind of get it to where we need to, and we'll know a lot more later on. And that's to my next point, is that I'm gonna be speaking with Buckeye Power Sales about a transfer switch. There's very few things actually out at that lift station that need to be done still. On our side, we need to do the electric with 3-phase, but before we do that, I need to price a transfer switch through Buckeye Power Sales, who handled it before. There is good news on that though, because 2 of their technicians that I spoke with, the price for one of those has dropped greatly in the past years because they're not as big as they used to be. And even he said the one that got hit by a car, he said it's a complete loss. He looked inside of it, so you gotta submit that. That's already been done. But the technology and the size of these things, comparatively, I would say the one that was out there was about the size of a refrigerator, and now they're about the size of this. They're not that big, they're just a steel enclosure that houses. So, but I need to price one, and those have a little bit of a lag time on them. You can't just go buy one off the shelf. They have to do it to the spec of whatever type of electric you're running, what type of generator it is, what type of pumps you have, what type of electric's in the pumps. So it's gonna be a process getting that done, but that's what I gotta do next. Other than that, Southway's done with the fence out there, it looks great. Jamie Gorman did all the plumbing is done. Buckeye Power went out and checked the generator, it is fine, it's functional, it's plumbed. The only thing that they're going to need to do coming up is to move it back completely onto its foundation from where it got hit off of its I-beam structure at the bottom, because there's a gap that's roughly 3 to 4 inches to where if water got in there and started freezing, it could cause issues with the generator. So just getting it completely back and set, and then from there we need to get a transfer switch. So that's that. We have 3 electrical things coming up to where we're gonna be powering a lift station for Strasburg's wastewater that they ran up to Provia. That's gonna be on Wednesday this week tentatively. Mr. Elliott, who is opening a wedding barn out here on Manchester Avenue, just north of town, we will be hooking up his 3-phase within the next couple weeks, as well as, I just got an email today from the project manager for Dollar General, and we're gonna set up a time to where, or when they're going to want us to get our 3-phase power in there. So, other than that, I think we have all but, I think 5 LED lights installed down at the sewer plant. It was really dark there, and especially being around anything related to that type of stuff, we wanted to make sure that it was very well lit in the morning and they're motion activated, so whenever those guys are down there, they turn on, they can see wherever they're at, so not slipping on anything, or, so that's done. Plus, they're a lot more efficient too, so those are in. We had our AMP power review, Hazel came to that one. The guys from AMP came and just kind of went over our portfolio of how we buy and purchase power and where it's projected to go, and how we're gonna kind of move things around with that, but it was actually very informative, and they can always come back. They usually do it every year, but they said if anybody wants to know more about it, that they can come back and gladly talk to us and kind of walk us through how we purchase power, where it comes from, how we get it, when our peak demand is, and how it dictates our rates that we set. So it's a very informative thing. It was great that they came down. That was last Wednesday, I believe. I think it was last Wednesday. And other than that, that's all I got.
Good. All right, well, we have two things here. We have a thank you from Amazing Grace Ministries for our contribution for Christmas time. And also, I was asked to present this. They're having a first annual Valentine's dinner at the Friendship Hall in on Valentine's Day, of course, $10 per person. So anybody that's interested in that, I'll have this posted on the wall. This is a newer business we have in town. Do you have anybody else have anything? Yes.
We did, have that webinar.
Yes, we did.
It's very interesting, so, we got some copies of the slide presentation, and we got one for our administrator. And we had 3 council people from Beaumont that came, and we had 3 from here, well, 2 councilmen from there. So we got copies of that to Wilma, and they were pleased with that presentation. And so we're looking forward to March and May.
Nothing else?